Welcome to your Pilates Reformer workout. My name is Melanie, your mildly goth Pilates instructor. Today we're going to be doing a reformer workout for total body, and we're going to work on some rotation and mobility with a lot of strength. So please place on 3 red springs or 3 heavy springs. If you want more resistance, you can place on 3 red springs and a blue, or 3 heavy and 1 light. Headrest will start up. Meet me lying down on the reformer and we'll get started. And if you're not yet subscribed, which many of you are not, please hit that subscribe button so I can see you again soon. All right, lying down on the machine, we're going to bring the heels or arches to the outer corners of the foot bar. Knees will rotate wide. Spine nice and neutral, so the bottom of your sacrum is heavy on the mat. Pubic bone on the same plane as your hips. We're going to take a big breath in, exhale. Press the legs straight, inhale. Draw the carriage in slowly with control. Big breath in, exhale. Inhale, bring the carriage in with control. So our turnout here isn't extremely wide necessarily. It can be 45 degrees or a little bit more if you like. Your goal is to really focus on the spinal alignment to begin. So rib cage is down. Spine is in a nice neutral position, which means that the bottom of your sacrum is really heavy on the mat. You probably have a nice curve in the lumbar spine or the lower part of your spine. And the rib cage is oriented down. So the bottom back part of your ribs is making contact with the mat. Warming up through the glutes and thighs, through the core, which is giving us lots of stability here. Let's take another 3. Last 2, still breathing. And 1. Extend the legs long, bend the carriage, bring it halfway home. We're going to take tiny pulses. So you want to stop and find that place where your glutes are firing, where your inner thighs are working. You're lifting your belly button in and up. Good. We're pulsing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in, exhale, extend the legs long. Deep breath in, bring the carriage all the way home. We're going to rotate to turn the knees towards each other. So the arches or heels are still on the corner, but now I'm rotating through the hip to point my knees towards each other. I'm going to move away from the shoulder blocks just for a sec. I'm going to exhale, extend the legs long. The knees are going to separate, but they're still pointing in toward each other. Bring the carriage all the way home. Ribs are staying down. Exhale, extend, inhale, bring it in. Reposition the feet if you need to. So we're hopefully feeling a little bit of work in a slightly different spot in the hip flexors than you did on the external rotation variation. Good. Keep this going for 4. Last 3. Final 2, continuing to use your breath. And 1. Good, bring it in. Still an internal rotation. You're going to extend the legs, turn the legs out at the top, knees face outward. Bend the knees, bring it home. Knees turn in, extend long, legs turn out, bring it home. Knees in, extend, knees out, bring it home. 3 more, knees in, extend, just drawing a circle. Once this motion feels very comfortable, you can begin smoothing it out like butter. Good. Once you finish about your 3, we're going to reverse. So we're going to stay in external rotation, press away, and rotate inward, bring it home. Knees out, extend, knees in, bring it in. Knees out, extend, knees in, bring it in. Smooth it out. Good. All about mobility while still getting some nice stability through the muscular work here. Final 2. And 1. Very nice. Bring the carriage all the way home. Hug your knees in toward your chest. We're going to bring our toes to the foot bar, and we're going to have the legs in Pilates V. So heels together, lifted, knees apart, heels are raised, arms relaxed by your sides. Heels stay high as you exhale, press out. Bend the knees, heels stay high as you bring it all the way in. Deep breath in, exhale, extend it long, stretch. Inhale, bring it in. Let's go 4, 7 more. And back. Check in with your ribs, make sure they're down. No popping ribs if you can avoid it. So lots of inner thighs, glutes here. Very nice. Let's continue for 4. Last 3. Final 2. And 1. Extend it long. Bend the knees halfway home. Keep the heels lifted. Tiny pulses up and down. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Exhale. Extend it long. Deep inhale. Bring it all the way home. Very nice, guys. Hug your knees in toward your chest. Rock your head side to side. Take a little release through the neck if you need. And we're going to move on. When you're ready, roll up to sitting. You're going to switch to 1 red spring and 1 blue spring, or 1 heavy and 1 light. Find the straps, grab them, place them in your hands. Your arms are going to extend up over the shoulders. You're going to roll the shoulders back, scoot away from the shoulder blocks enough that you have a little space to work. Legs will begin in tabletop, inner thighs squeeze together. Big breath in, exhale, press the hands down toward the hips. Inhale, bring it right back up. If this feels doable, you're welcome to curl up with the head, neck, and chest. And also feel free to take any options, extending 1 leg at a time, alternating sides, or both legs, either with or without the head extended. I'm going to go for both legs extended to 45 today, keeping the head down. It's a better option for my body right now. If the leg extension is not challenging enough, you can also take it a little bit lower. Good. Let's go for 4. This is 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Pause here. Next, we're going to go for coordination. So we'll curl up the head, neck, and chest. You're going to take a big breath in, exhale, press out, legs open, close, bend the knees in, bend the elbows, head stays lifted. Press out, open, close, knees in, arms bent. Press out, open, close, knees in, arms in. 3 more. Out, open, close, knees in, arms in. 2 more. Out, open, close, knees in, arms in, belly in, press out. Last one. Knees in, press in. Head down, rest your head down, rock your head side to side. That was turning for me. And we're gonna move on. So taking the arms back up over the shoulders, legs to tabletop. Let's take our arm circles. So hands will press down. We're gonna press the arms out to the side, palms face forward, bring the arms up and continue. You can curl up with the head, neck, and chest as the hands press if you like, if you want more of an ab challenge. Again, lots of head curl. Doesn't feel great to my body right now, so I'm not gonna do that today. But that's an option if you wanna add a little bit more spice. So palms press down, flip in to face the hips as you bring the arms up around. Let's go for 3. So work starting through the upper back muscles here. If you exhale here, get some work through the core as well. Very nice. Let's reverse it. Arms out, palms press in toward the sides, flip the palms forward, bring the arms up. In, flip down, raise the arms up, and out. Smooth it out, just like we did with the hip circles on the first exercises. Good, 2 more. Last one. Very nice. Arms come up over the shoulders. Good. Press the palms down. Again, you can take the curl with the head, neck, and chest if you like to. I'm going to just draw small circles, reaching the fingertips forward. Think about the middle finger pulling toward the wall in front of you. The circle should be about the size of a basketball. Good. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Opposite direction. This is 10, 9, 8, 7, still breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center, float the arms up over the shoulders. We'll move on. Next, we're going to bring the right arm out to the side. Left arm stays up over the shoulder. Press both hands in toward the waist. Right arm goes up, left arm out to the side. Switch sides. Right arm down, left arm in, switch. Left arm up, right arm out. So each time the opposite arm comes up over the shoulder and the opposite arm, the other arm goes out to the side. So feeling lots of shoulders. upper arms. So we've done a variation on this called cheerleaders where one arm circles over the top. That's not what we're doing for this one. We're just changing which arm goes directly up. Each time we repeat this, and the opposite arm is going to go out to the side. So for this arm that's right up over the shoulder, the palm will press straight down. For the arm that's out to the side, that hand is going to press in toward the hips. Let's go for 2 more each side. Good arm work, good core work here. And an opportunity to use the breath to engage the abdominals. Very nice. Arms over the shoulders, rest the feet down on the foot bar. We're going to move to feet and straps. So legs will extend up over the hips. Scoot yourself away from the shoulder block, save enough room to work. Arms will be long by your sides. We're going to begin with the legs together. Press the legs down, raise them back up. We'll just take a couple of these here, finding a nice long extension through the legs. So I'm pulling my kneecaps up my leg by engaging my quads to find a nice long extension. Tailbone is staying heavy on the mat, so I'm creasing at the hips as the legs come up. Good, let's take 2 more, and then we'll move into our leg circles. After this, we're going to get into some rotation. So up at the top, open, legs come down, around, close. Open, down, around, and close. You're welcome to take this range of motion as wide or as small as you like to. A more classical Pilates version of this would be the feet staying relatively high. More contemporary version is the legs going pretty low with a pretty wide range of motion. So do whatever feels good to you. My request is that you just make sure you keep the pelvic alignment very neutral. So your pubic bone is on the same plane as your hips. You're not compressing your back into the mat ideally, and your ribs are staying down. We're going to go for 8. We should have a few more here. And then we're going to reverse directions and then get into some fun variations. So legs go down, open up at the bottom, draw around, up and together. So again, if you're doing the more classical version, it's going to stay a little higher. That's totally fine. If you want to go a little more contemporary, maybe add some ab challenge here and work in the more extreme ends of your range. You can take a much wider circle if you prefer, but choose what's best for your body. Good. 3 more. Make sure that your legs squeeze all the way together before they move. Last one. Good. All the way at the top, we're going to open the legs out to a V. You can do this one in parallel with the knees facing your nose or turned out with your knees facing outward. I'm going to take the turned out version. We're going to start at this top V. We're going to press it down to a low point at 45. Heels together or feet together. Raise the legs back up, heels separate. So we're going for a high V to a point at the bottom. Separate at the top, very nice. And this sequence is one that I'm really enjoying teaching lately. We're going to invert the V as our next step. And I took inspiration for this one from a workout that I posted to my memberships channel, which, if you don't know about, is a series of exclusive workouts that you can subscribe to monthly. And I'm building the content library by adding new items every month. Good, we're going to take 2 more. I hope to see you there. And after this last one, we're going to bring the legs up to the top, bring the legs together, and we're going to rotate the legs inward. So my toes are going to point towards each other, my heels are going to point apart, and my internal rotation is not awesome, so the range of motion is not fantastic. Maybe different for you. I'm going to separate the legs at the bottom, so I'm making an A shape or an inverted V shape. Legs come together at the top, still an internal rotation. So the heels are leading the way. Toes are coming together at the top. For me, the knees are not coming all the way together, so the toes coming together at the top. Heels leading the way. Feel a lot of good stability building through the hip flexors. That's something a lot of us need. Strength and mobility through the hips, particularly if we sit a lot at office jobs. But it's really hard to find the physical support and stamina to support sitting for so many hours throughout the day. Good, let's go for 1 more. Very nice. Raise the legs up. Let's flex the feet. Give a little stretch through the back of the legs, heels together, toes apart. Nice butterfly stretch. This is your time to enjoy and relax. Extend one leg out to the side, holding onto the rope, keeping both hips steady on the mat. Bring that leg in towards center. Opposite leg goes out. Pull on the rope if you like to. Both heels in and take the straps off of the arches of the feet. Place them on the pegs next to you or down by your sides, and we'll move on. We're gonna move on to side legs to finish up. So I've switched onto one blue spring or one light spring. You could do this on a red or a heavy spring if you're feeling very ambitious. I'm gonna come down to lying on the right side of my torso. Headrest is down. You can place your head on a little yoga block on the headrest if you prefer. I'm gonna prop my head up. You're going to pull the strap forward, place it on your left leg. Find a comfortable resting position. You want to make sure your bottom rib isn't sinking into the mat, so I'm giving an active lift. I'm going to press that top leg up to parallel, extend it long to the side, bringing your heel in line with your hip. Bring it right back to starting. Press out and back. We're going to go for a total of 8. This is 6. And stretch, so you want to make sure the heel gets all the way in line with your hip, not behind, not forward. 4. Rope probably will come in between your knees, but find a place that feels comfortable for you. Last 2. Obliques are on here too, supporting this leg. Press out to the side, flex the foot, bring the leg forward, point the foot, bring it slightly behind you. Flex the foot, bring it forward, point the foot, bring it slightly behind. Flex the foot, bring it forward. Point the foot, bring it slightly behind. Very good. 4 more. This is 3. Check your bottom rib. Make sure it's not sinking into the mat. If you need a rolled up towel underneath to support, that could be a good alternative. Last 2. Try to keep that leg at the same height the whole time. Easier said than done. Last 1. Good. We're going to bring the leg all the way forward, gently rotate it so that the heel is reaching up toward the ceiling. We're going to lift and lower for 8, 7. So this is going above and below hip height. 6, 5. Trying to keep that rotation so the heel is leading, but do your best. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your leg, rest it down, pound out through the glutes if you need to. We're going to go on to the next variation. Lift the leg to hip height, press it out, point through the foot, small circles to the back. We're going to go for 8. Trying to keep the torso very steady. Abs are supporting you here. 6, 5, lots of glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's reverse to the back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, still breathing, 1. Bend your knee, bring it home. Pound out the glutes if you need to. Take that strap off, place it down on the peg or on the floor. We're going to move on to the other side. Rotating to the opposite side, you're going to place that right strap onto your right foot. You're going to lie down in a comfortable position with your head on your hand or resting on the yoga block. Legs bent, stacked on top of each other. You're going to stack the hips, lift the bottom rib, flex the top foot, press the leg out to the side, bringing the heel in line with your hip. Bend the knee, bring it back in. Press through that strap slowly with control. And of course, I hope this goes without saying, but moderate your own spring resistance here. If this feels too light or too heavy, feel free to add or subtract springs, pardon me, as your body needs. That said, if you're jamming through these springs and just using momentum to push through, slowing down and really working on your control can make the exercise a lot harder, even without ramping up your spring tension. But as long as you're paying attention to that, you do you. Last 2. And 1. Knee is facing forward. Flex the foot, bring the leg all the way to front, point the foot, press it, bring it slightly behind you. Flex the foot, bring it front, point the foot, bring it back. Again, resist the urge to use momentum here. You want to be in control of that strap and that spring. You don't just want to use pure force and power to get through this. Pilates was originally called contrology, for a reason. We want to use control of our muscles to power every single movement. Good, 2 more to get us to 8. Breathing the whole way, making sure that your top shoulder isn't rolling too far forward or back. And 1. Good. We're going to point the foot. Bring the leg all the way in front of the hip. Slightly turn in so that your heel is pointing toward the ceiling. Don't let that bottom rib drift. We're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to bring your leg as close to in line with your hip as you can. Last 3, 2, 1. Bend the leg, bring it home, pound out the glute if you need to, and we'll move on. Last sequence while we're here, let's restack the hips, press the leg out to the side, in parallel, knee forward, small circles to the back for 8, 7, 6, long stretch through the leg, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse directions for 8, 7, nice, still and steady, through the top, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Bend the knee, bring it home, pound out the glute. Take the strap off of your leg when you're ready, your foot, and we'll move on. All right, we're going to finish up with scooter stretch and modified splits. So I switched on to 1 red spring or 1 heavy spring. I'm going to place my left foot up against the right shoulder block behind me. Front foot comes to the front edge of the machine. Knee on the reformer, hands as wide as your shoulders. I'm going to square off the hips so they're both facing forward. I'm just going to send the carriage away, finding a deep stretch right away. Sometimes I like to keep the pelvis scooped under for a real focused psoas stretch. I don't have time for that today. I don't have the time or the inclination for that today. I'm just really letting myself move through this. You can press out and in, or you can press out and just hold it here. Hang out, do whatever feels best to you. It's really doesn't matter to me. I want you to feel good. What you can play around with is bringing the forearms down to the foot bar, or keeping the hands on the foot bar and arching up. For me, the arch feels like a more meaningful hip flexor stretch. So just find the option that works for you. And next we're going to press out, and I'm going to extend the front leg forward. If that is not the vibe for you today, don't worry about it. Stick with the scooter stretch. But if you'd like to extend the legs forward, you can keep the hands on the foot bar or bring them down to the frame. Just be cautious about your fingers if you do that. When you're ready, bend the leg, bring it all the way home. We're gonna move on to the other side. So now left foot is on the other side of the machine. Right toes are curled under and up against that back shoulder block. Squared off hips. Press out into your scooter or your lunge. And again, you can bring it in and out, kind of keeping it a mobile stretch. You can make it a sort of static or passive stretch by just hanging out here. Think about placing your forearms down, or keeping the hands on the foot bar and emphasizing the arch. Try to focus on finding that spot where you get a nice psoas stretch, or stretch through the little sort of inside hip flexor that goes around to your back. Find your last little variation, or get the last little bit of juice out of this. When you're ready, draw the carriage in. We're going to press out again, and if you like, find your modified split. Oh yeah, that's popping already. You can have your hands on your foot bar, or if it feels good to you, you can go out to your slightly deeper split by placing your hands on the frame. That can be a little bit harder to hold, and also if you don't have the flexibility, don't worry about it. Alternate options would be keeping that front leg extended and flexing the foot instead of going all the way down. But find the option that works for you. We're going to stay here for just another moment. Big breath in, shoulders relaxed. Very nice. Draw the carriage in with control. Watch your fingers as you come in. We're going to sit down on the carriage and just finish up with a final neck roll out. So finding a comfortable sitting position, whatever that means to you. You're going to sit with your hands on your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Shoulders over your ribs, over your hips. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Nod your chin down toward your chest. Raise it up toward the ceiling. One more time. Nod your chin down toward your chest. Raise it up toward the ceiling. Back to center. Eyes still closed. Right ear down to your right shoulder without lifting your left shoulder. Back to center. Left ear to right shoulder while keeping your shoulders exactly where they are. Back to center. Rotate your head to glance over your right shoulder. Back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Back to center. Turn to the right. Bring the chin down toward the shoulder without collapsing. Feel a nice stretch through the neck on the left. Raise it up, back to center, rotate the head to the left. Nod the head down, feel the upper trap stretch or the neck stretch on the right side. Raise it back up, center. Take a big breath in, roll your shoulders back. Shoulder blades come together in the back. Neck and traps nice and relaxed. Open your eyes. You are all set. Thank you so much for joining me. You did an amazing job. If you have not already checked out my membership channel, you can join and get exclusive content by clicking the join button below. I also post free workouts here every Tuesday. And please leave me a comment. Click subscribe if you haven't already. I love to hear your feedback and hear how things went for you. It just makes my day. So thank you for all the ways you support me. Love you guys. See you soon.